Yes guys, welcome back to the Fun Bikes YouTube channel. I'm Finn and today I'm going to be showing you the build and assembly process of our X-Max 110cc. This is the exact same build assembly process as our electric version and our 90cc version. They have a slight difference but pretty much identical. Right, let's get this thing out of the box so it can go from looking like this to this. So guys, now we've got your X-Max out of the box and the cage. I'm now going to show you what came in it. It's quite simple, just a few parts. You've got both your rear wheels, your front bar, and your power box, which I'll run through in just a second. So guys, in your power box, you'll receive your front plastics, you'll receive a little cover for your handlebars, you'll receive your nuts and bolts for this assembly, you'll receive your tools, which if you have your own I do recommend using, but these will do the job just fine. You got 4 wheel caps, you've got your fuel tank cap, a fuel pipe, and finally your manual, which again have a highly insist you read as it shows you how to take care of your quad and give it a long living life. So guys, for this assembly you will need a few tools. As I previously mentioned, you will get your own tool bag for this assembly, but if you have your own I do highly recommend it. So starting off, you will need a 24mm socket with an extension on a nice big ratchet. You'll need a smaller crosshead screwdriver, a slightly bigger one, 8mm Allen key, 6mm Allen key, 5mm Allen key, 4mm Allen key, 17mm spanner, 14mm spanner, 13mm spanner, 10mm spanner, a knife, and a pair of wire cutters. Alright, let's get cracking into this build. So guys, the first part of the assembly we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing your handlebars. So first of all, you're going to want to twist them, make sure they're straight. As you can see, the wires aren't twisted like that, for example. You want them nice and straight. Just want to rest them where handlebars will go. Grab your parts bag, open that up, and you're going to want to grab 2 bolts. And then on this clamp you'll see here, you've got little grooves, whereas this one you don't. So this one will be going under the handlebars, like so. You want to make sure you align these clamps with these ridges here. So once you put your bottom clamp on, you can then slide your top clamp on. Grab your bolts, feed them through, and finger tight for now. Same with the bottom. So once they're in finger tight, you can grab the other side. Same as the other side. Groove one at the top, flat one at the bottom. So guys, now we've got these in finger tight, you can now grab a 10mm spanner. Just want to make sure these are nice and tight. So once they're tight, you can give them a little push, and as you can see, they're not moving, so that means your handlebars are nice and tight. So guys, now you've got your handlebars installed, we can now fit your bit of front plastic here. This will be nice and simple. All you want to do is get this little crosshead screw out, move over to the front here, and as you can see, we've got 6 little points here, which will slide into these 6 slots there. There is a little tactic, so you want to go up, push the corners down and bend like that, and then once you've heard it clicked in a little bit, grab the top here, pull it down, and it should click in nicely. So now you can grab your little screw and a little screwdriver, and what you want to do is underneath, you can just see it, there's a little slot that you need to screw this in. Can be quite tricky to find the gap, but you know where it's going in. So once it's in the gap, you can then grab your screwdriver and tighten it up. So once you've got that tight, your front plastic is now all installed. So guys, moving on to the next part of the assembly, we're going to be doing your front shock and your front wheel setup. The tools you're going to need for this be a 17mm spanner, a 14mm spanner, a 13mm spanner, an 8mm Allen key, finally a 6mm Allen key. So first of all, you just want to grab your wheel, you want to go under the shock, through the swing arm, like that, undo this bolt, and then you want to line this up. This is nice and simple. I put the bolt back through, like so. Then you put the nut back on this side, and this is where you're going to need your 13 and 14mm spanner. The 14 will be on the left side here, and the 13 on the right. So you want to make sure this is as tight as possible, like that. So once that's nice and tight, and then grab your wheel again, Here you can see the big bolt. You want to take this out. Make sure you've still got the washer. And this lines up right here. So once you've got this lined up, you can put the bolt back through. Oh. So, and put the nut back on the bottom. So now you will need your 17mm spanner and your 8mm Allen key. So the 8mm Allen key will go on the top just here. And obviously the 17 will be at the bottom. Again, you want to make sure this is as tight as you can physically get it. So, boys, that bolt's tight. You can see your track rod here. For this, you will need your 6mm and your 13. You'll want to undo this bottom nut. Tight, isn't it? So once these are off, this will sit just in this little gap here. Alright, so to make it a bit easier, you can push the steering away, gives you a bit more room. So now you can put the nut and the washer back on the bottom. And again, make sure this is nice and tight. Like so. And once that's tight, we can now move on to the other side. So guys, now you've got the other side on, we can now move over to this side. It's the exact same process. I'm still going to run you through it anyway, just so you're 100% clear. So first step, through, bolt out, lift the swing arm up, line over the shock, bolt through, nut on the other side, 13 and 14mm spanner, just tight. And once that's tight, then remove this bolt, line it up, slide it in. And then again, 8mm Allen key, 17mm spanner. Again, you just want to make sure this is nice and tight. And once that's nice and tight, then grab 6mm and your 13mm spanner. Take this off. And again, just sit up like so. And now you put your nut and washer back on again. And make sure that's nice and tight. And once that's tight, that is both your shocks and both your wheel setups all installed. So guys, moving on to the next part of your assembly, we're going to be doing your front bull bar. For this, it's nice and simple. All you're going to need is a 10mm spanner. So you're going to want to take these 4 bolts out here. So once you've got all 4 bolts out, all you're going to want to do is line up the bottom here, like this. You just put these bolts in, just a couple of threads, just so it holds on. Same with this side. As you can see, it's holding on, it's not going to fall off. You can then line up these top holes, which again, screw them in a few threads. If the metal doesn't line up with the holes, they are quite easy to maneuver. So if you move it a bit closer, it makes it a bit easier for you. Same with the last one. So once you've got all 4 of these bolts in just finger tight for now, you can then grab your 10mm spanner and go around and make sure they're all nice and tight. When you've got all 4 of these bolts nice and tight, your front bull bar is now installed. So guys, moving on to the next part of your assembly process, we're going to be putting on your rear wheels. Now a key point to mention is that these wheels are directional. So as you can see this arrow, you've also got the valve on the inside. So this means that you can't put it that way, obviously, because you've got a bit of plastic valve and the print. So for this, you're going to need a ratchet, an extension and a 24mm socket. You could also do with a pair of snips or anything to bend the split pin that we're going to be doing. Makes it a bit easier. So you're going to take this nut and washer off, like so, and slide the wheel straight on. Now the washer can go back on, and then the nut. So now you want to grab your ratchet. This bit can be quite tricky due to the fact that no handbrake. As you can see inside here, there's a little hole. You want to make sure that is lined up with a gap on the castle nut. That is to ensure your split pin can go through. Right, so if it doesn't fit through, just tighten or loosen it a bit just so it can fit. So then I'm going to use my wire cutters just to bend the split pin round as it does at your finger. There we go. So now you want to do the exact same process on the other side. So moving on to the other side, exact same process as for that side. Can't remember if I said it on the previous side, but you do want to make sure these are as tight as possible, obviously as they're your wheels. Moving on to the next part of the assembly. So moving on with your assembly, we're now going to be doing your lever arm wheels, and we're also going to be fitting your little handlebar cover, I guess. So the only tools you're going to need for this are going to be a 4 and a 5mm Allen key. You'll also fit your handlebar cover. So we're going to start on the left side, which you're going to need your 4mm Allen key for. All you're going to want to do is loosen off one of these bolts. Just want to be careful you don't round it. Once it's a bit loose, good to see it's loose. And you just want it to be about a flat arm angle, like so. And you can even have a look. But this is completely up to you as well. This is just what we do as a company. And once you're happy, you can hold it still and make sure it's nice and tight, like so. So now you've got one done, you can now move over to the right side, which is where you'll need your 5mm Allen key. And this one's got 2. So you've got one bolt here we're going to have to loose, and also one bolt on the top here. So I'd recommend loosening off the one for the brake lever first, as this can get in the way. Just a few turns, as there is a nut on the bottom, you don't want that to fall out and lose it. Then loosen this one off. There we go. So now they're both loose, again, you can do your flat arm, like so. And what I like to do is I stand behind the quad and you can see if they are the same level. And once you're happy, you can tighten this one, but we're going to leave this one loose for now. So again, hold it so it doesn't move, and you can tighten it. There we are. Now with this, what you want to do is if you have it too high up, it will cause the throttle to be a bit sticky. So you have to push this down, not all the way down, but just a bit off it, and then tighten that back up as well. And now to make sure it's not sticky, I like to give it a few press on the throttle, and as you can see, that isn't sticking. So that's your lever handles done. Now you can grab your handlebar cover. Now these things can be a bit fiddly because of all the wires here, but all you're going to want to do, these two little gaps will sit just to the side of both your clamps. So line it up in front, you're going to carefully push down so it clips into place, like so. And with that done, we can now move on to the final part of the assembly process. So guys, moving on to the final part of your assembly, we're going to be doing your battery. The only thing you're going to need for this is a crosshead screwdriver. So the first step, under the seat, there should be a little latch. When I pull that back, lift up the seat. You put the seat down nice and carefully, and your battery is right here. So you want to pull this out. You can see your bolts are sellotaped on. So what I like to do is pull the bolts on the side. I like to put the little terminal box in the terminals already, like so. And then I'll place it, I'll hold it like this so they don't fall out while placing. Just carefully put it in like that. Now, grab your wires. Also make sure the black goes to the negative, which is this side, and the red goes that side. So now you can grab the 2 screws and the screwdriver and pull back this bit of rubber. Also make sure your key is off, don't want any shocks. So I'm going to put that through the gap, screwdriver on, carefully into the hole, and then you can screw it on. And once it's tight, then put the little rubber sleeve back on to cover the terminal, like that. And you'll be doing the exact same with this side. So you've got both the terminal covers back on. What I like to do before putting the seat back on is make sure it works. As you can see, it does. So I'll then put the seat back on, like that. And now, for the cherry on the cake, all we've got is your fuel tank. So, you want to grab these two, pop that on there, and screw And with that, your assembly is now completed. So guys, now you've fully finished your assembly, you can do my personal favourite part and the most satisfying part, get to peel the stickers. Let's start peeling. Also guys, I did just forget to mention wheel caps. These are nice and simple. So you've got two sizes, you've got the smaller one and the bigger one. Obviously the bigger one will go on the rear, smaller on the front. You may need something just to tap them on. Front one gone on quite easily. Because there are split pins in the rear, you can. And do the exact same process for the side. So yeah. So guys, before you take this thing for a ride, the last thing you're going to want to do for your safety or your child's safety is you're going to want to make sure you do a full nut and bolt check. I insist you do this, just like I said, for your own safety. I'm now going to run through every bolt you're going to want to check before you ride this thing. We're going to start on the back. This, all four here. These three. All the plastic bolts. Rear shock. A few bolts on the engine. Any bolt you see on the engine, make sure you tighten it. Check your front brakes and these again. And your front discs. So once you've made sure all those bolts are checked, you also want to check the other side. It is identical, so you just need to do the exact same checks and your bike is now ready to be ridden. So guys, now I'm going to show you how to start and turn on your vehicle. So the first step, and I'll unscrew your fuel cap, grab a funnel, doesn't have to be this big, but that's all I have. Obviously you're going to need some fuel. You're going to want to use E5s for the best performance of your engine. No. You want to carefully remove the funnel, obviously you don't want to get any fuel on the plastic, like so. Then put our fuel cap back up, like. So to actually start the vehicle, and I'll turn the key on, and then up here there'll be a choke. So now you choke up and you key on, you can then pull the rear brake here and press the electric start button, which is here. I'm going to let it sit for a minute. So it might turn off when it's on choke, but that's completely normal. Okay, guys. If it struggles, you can give it a bit of throttle. Then you can try it down, and normally and that is how you turn and run this bike. So guys, and with that you'll fully assemble your X-Max 110. And don't forget, this is the exact same build process as our electric version and our T-Max 90cc. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and I'll reply to them as quick as I can. And make sure you or your child are wearing your protective equipment. And if you don't have any, we do have some linked in our description and in our bio. And I'll see you in the next video.